Hello, 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 and welcome to yet another TRC podcast. That's right, where I'm your host, Dane Hennon. To my right, Levi Gates.
Hey, what's going on, Dane?
And to my left, Anthony Fisher.
Dane, feels good to be here, man. Thank you.
It does
Thank you.
feel good to be here. So I'm not going to get ahead of myself other than to say the comments appear to be working on Nick's end. I don't have the iPad here with me, but it should be with me shortly once that gets arranged. Don't worry. I'll see your comments in a little bit here. I'm using my phone as backup. Now, before we get started, I will say, if you haven't already, please click that like button. It gets us in front of more people, and it's a way to grow the community, have some fun. Now, from me. Let's do a little housekeeping. What's going on, guys?
Dane, I think it's a great point that you bring up, right? Getting those likes, right? Maybe getting some subscribers out of this, right?
Unfortunately, we live in a day and age where that is a necessity if you want to survive rather than sink.
Well, you know what? We want more people as part of our cult, right? We can't physically give people the punch, right? So we have to be able to kind of create it via social media and then, give them their first hit, right?
Make them
get them hooked.
Kind of giving them the secrets.
Right. I am giving. Okay, sorry. So,
but we want them to enjoy it. We want them to come back for more.
We do, and we find that over the years, right? We've been doing this for how many years? 4 years now.
What,
5 years?
The podcast?
It's been a while.
We've been doing the podcast since 2018.
Yeah.
4 years. So we've been doing it for 4 years.
Wow.
So doing the podcast for 4 years, right? We've seen a lot of people come and go. We've seen some people who say, wow, we love these guys. We want to learn from them. We just want to hang out with them. We feel like part of the family.
Yeah.
And there's other people that come for the information. Maybe they learn a lot. Maybe they get sick of us and they bounce for a while and they come back. But you know what? There are some people that have stuck with us for 4 years.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
That's crazy.
Kudos.
Every single week, right?
Yeah.
2 times a week for 4 years. Think about it.
No, it's
Hans Closen, right?
Insane.
G. Davis, right? Bait Addict, for the most part, is there for the most part.
Some people have been a little invisible at times for a period of maybe a few months or something, but they always come back.
Yeah, Alex Stewart.
Yeah.
There's a whole list of people that have kind of stuck around.
Long list. Luke
for
Berge.
everything. And
Tone Zors, I remember
Tone
early
Zors.
days. Yeah.
we just really appreciate everybody. Alkaline Trio, right? Right.
Yeah.
Dan. And
Dan.
It's just cool to have a consistent audience. And we were talking about that the other day because, without you guys consistently coming back, really we'd have no reason to do this other than just talking about it. And
our reason to do it would be we just do what we do when we're not on camera. On the mic, it's same thing. We're just shooting the breeze.
I know, but it gives us something.
It
gives us something to look forward to, right?
Yeah.
And we get to see the same people, and then we'll meet them in person, and we get to hang out with them in person. It's literally like hang out with family.
Yeah,
it's the coolest
exactly.
thing.
And I think that's probably the funnest thing and the reason we do this.
Yeah. And so I want people to know that even if you're kind of new to the podcast, or maybe try to get other people to listen to the podcast in one way, shape, or form, whether it's Q&A Thursday or the main show, some people feel like maybe they're not in on all the inside jokes, and they're like, oh, well, maybe I missed some information. They have to go back and listen to stuff. And I think it's great. If you want to go back in the archives and go back and listen to stuff, heck yeah, man. Have at it.
Which, by the way, if you're looking for old episodes and you can't find them on iTunes, I'm sorry. The way the archive works is a little screwy. But if you go to the Red Company YouTube channel, all the old episodes are on that playlist.
You know what's fun,
you can
Dane?
go clear back to the beginning.
They sign up for the premium YouTube. They can actually listen to it just like it's a podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
They can turn their
Start
phone
it.
off. Yeah, they can
Turn
close
off
the
their
screen,
phone, just have it playing in the background.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
But what I'm trying to say is that even if they jump in right now, I think that you'll still have a lot of fun, right? The jokes are being made, right?
Oh.
All the fun stuff is being
Well,
created.
I think
The
it's
lore,
real time
the lore continues
creation.
to be created.
Well, and I think it was fun because Thursday's Q&A, we had Morgan on. Yeah. And it was surprising how many
Speaking of people who came and went.
How many new people hadn't met her or seen her?
Yeah,
before
right.
or
I've heard of her.
There may be a good chunk of people who are here who are like, "Who's that? I don't know who that is."
Well, and then
She's
also
in the pictures on the walls.
think about the the more recent lore stuff kind of created with the Deep South, right? In Southern California, right?
Yeah, even Morgan didn't know about the
There's
Deep
the
South,
old school people who are like, I don't know what the heck,
I refuse to buy into this one.
Like the guys that maybe took a break for a while, and they go, "Wait, what happened? What's going on with the Deep South?" And I go, "Guys, it all goes back to my ex-father-in-law." And I can explain things, but they're like, "What?" So there's always new fun stuff being created. It's worth sticking around for. So, anyways, housekeeping. So this week we're shooting a bunch of content, a bunch of videos, training videos, how-to videos, and then I believe at the end of today's the 12th. we will have something going live here eventually
Yeah.
on the radcompany.com, right?
Next week, I'm going to go to Atlanta.
Ooh.
You are.
Yeah, I won't be here for next week's Q&A.
So are you going
Thursday.
down there to stay at the Dahlonega?
No, we're
What?
staying at a hotel in the Porsche Experience Center.
Whoa.
Me and your dad going on a father and son
Wow.
vacation.
Okay.
We're gonna go drive some Porsches.
What the heck?
Well, when you're the Prince of the Rag Company, that's one of the benefits.
All right.
We're gonna
Wow.
go on these father son trips.
Is there any Porsches that you're looking forward to specifically?
Taycans.
Okay. That's a
and
realistic car.
Panameras.
Right, yeah. You just want something more budget friendly,
Well,
right?
and
to kind of get you
I
to
like
the door.
the looks. I think the Panamera is quite possibly the best designed Porsche ever in the history of all Porsches ever built.
Really?
Are you just trying to make me mad?
Those and I like Panameras and Cayennes because I feel like those are the most real Porsches ever built.
Yeah.
So
Well, because the engine's in the front, well, technically
Right.
on one, and then the other engine is in not anywhere.
yeah, exactly.
It's just multiple.
And on the
motors,
on the Taycan,
electric.
that's
Yeah.
how it's spelled, TAYCAN.
Yeah.
It's not how it's pronounced.
Those are electric.
Yeah.
and
Yes,
they're a
they are.
station wagon. And you know me,
That's
I'm all
the Cross
about-
Turismo
I'm all
version.
about practicality.
Yeah.
So that's why the Panamera appeals to me. That's why the Taycan appeals to me, and that's why the Cayennes appeal to me so much.
Yeah.
But I don't want like a fancy version. I want like the most stripped down bare model with like tiny tires and
Okay.
skinny wheels. I think those look the best.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
harkens back to the old days of when Porsche used to build bathtubs. That's what I love about them. So,
Yeah.
but I'm
Don't
excited.
go too far back in the history.
I'm gonna
folks.
go. I'm gonna go down there. Like I said, it's gonna be a great time. No, Jeff and I are going down to hang out with the Coach Kemi team.
What the
So I'm gonna
heck?
go hang out with some of the Germans.
Yeah.
and get to spend some time with them and
That is cool.
and
though. You guys will have
hopefully
fun.
dictate, things that are gonna change.
Well, hopefully you
in
can.
that company.
Hopefully you
He's
can
the
let
master of shine.
you can let them know that Anthony is still waiting for the Fresh Up for Men.
Yeah, I will.
That is still. That is
Hey,
still.
look, we're live
Oh
on
wow,
that thing.
our
This is
voices are
awesome.
doubling over now. This is intense.
That's awesome.
Oh,
That's not
sorry
the remote,
about that, guys.
That's
They're
not the
messing
remote.
with the iPad in the background, and oh my god, you turned
now
it
you're
up.
turning the volume up.
Oh my god, you're using the wrong
it's
remote.
going too loud.
This has all gone wrong.
TV's off.
Oh my god.
Oh no, we messed
okay,
everything
let's
up.
I got it.
Dial that back.
I got it.
That's
All right,
awesome.
so
Hey,
wonderful.
That's great.
Live.
But anyway, no. So next week, while I'm gone, we're gonna have some new things. So the best way
Yeah.
people can figure out like what's some of this new stuff that we've got coming is to make sure that you guys go to the website, sign up for the newsletter. If you haven't already, hopefully because you're listening to the podcast, you signed up. The other thing you can do, go over to the Rag Company podcast group on Facebook. Join our group.
Yeah.
Come hang out. We talk about loose meat sandwiches and
We do.
detailing tips and tricks and just what's going on with our lives. And we try to keep the whole crew just hanging out and enjoying each other's company. And it kind of creates a family atmosphere
Yeah.
in the group. So
Couldn't agree more. So I think you guys are gonna have a ton of fun there. Oh, we do have the iPad. The magic iPad does appear.
Well, that's
here
nice.
You go, Dane. I'm gonna get
I
that
will do
propped
that
up
as
for
soon
you
as
there.
I get this part put back on.
And,
what was beyond.
sorry.
There we go. You're welcome. Okay.
Sorry, slight technical difficulties here. So what people don't know, we have 3 screens, right?
Yeah.
So behind what you guys can see here, we have a middle screen that's like our exact
live
feed,
Yeah.
and then our 2 side screens are all the comments, right? So I can see this Clyde side,
and I can
closest to
see
Levi,
comments over here.
and you can see comments over there. So that's just kind of how we do things, and it makes things simple. So while you guys are going to be gone, we're going to be holding down the fort here, and hopefully creating some more, awesome content
Yeah,
for everybody.
very excited.
So one of my goals for this month, which I'm not sure if it's going to happen unless like a miracle happens, I really wanted to get to 90,000 followers on Instagram. Not myself personally,
Right.
but as the Rag Company,
Yeah.
right? We're 700 away.
Wow.
Which doesn't seem like a lot in the grand scheme of things, but 700 people, to follow
Yeah.
us.
Siri, make a note. Subscribe or follow the Rag Company on Instagram. Alexa, make a note or a reminder. Follow the Instagram of the Rag Company. How
You
about that?
can't. It doesn't
I
work
think that's
like
how that works.
No, it's not. It doesn't
Yeah.
work like that every single time. Most of these people are already following us. These are some
I
of
know.
our favorite
So,
people.
I was
know.
gonna say-
tell your friends and family. If your mom does Instagram, tell her, hey, let me see your phone. I just need to check on some things for it real quick. And they go, okay, here's my phone.
Yeah.
Go in there, subscribe to hit the Instagram. Follow
So a little inside baseball because Anthony's looking at me funny. This is not VMix Social. This is literally just a live feed on YouTube of our actual program, so you can just see the comments coming in there. So that's the best I can do for you right now. Unfortunately, I don't have another way to give you comments. So
That's all right, Ant. Yeah, that's right.
everybody leaving their comments and questions. It's just a little bit of technical difficulties today, but hopefully the system gets worked out soon. So in the meantime, let's continue.
Yeah. So people are asking about Amazon Prime Day. We're doing Prime Day.
Yeah.
We are not doing anything specifically for Prime Day.
But you can go and buy all the Rag Company stuff on
You
Prime.
can go and buy everything on Prime. It's just, unfortunately, right now, I think that we're trying to work out some stock issues with some chemicals and things like that. And not a bad problem. It's just a matter of, being able to have, for a Prime Day, it's being able to have enough inventory to be able to make something like that work, right? Because, it's a beast, right? Once you put something on Prime Day and you put something for a good deal or, a good price, you have to expect that stuff is going to just start flying off the shelf. And so we just wanted to make sure that, we had stuff. And right now we're thinking instead of putting our efforts towards that, we're going to put our efforts towards maybe an upcoming sale, right? That I was kind of mentioning earlier potentially. So from there, that's pretty much it for this week. I think it's going to be a good week. We have some really cool ideas coming up for August in terms of sales, some fun stuff, video content. And, before you know it, we're going to be planning for SEMA and we're going to be planning for TRC. And it's crazy. This
It's going to be nuts. This year's flying.
It's flying by pretty dang quick. So I don't know. Let's go ahead and jump into some weekends. And so I'm excited to hear.
If you can grab the remote for
what-
the other TVs,
what Dane and
Vizios,
Levi
they're
got.
very distracting. I'd just like to turn those off completely. So you guys keep talking. I will do this.
So weekends. Let's jump into
You want me to
it.
talk about it? I had the biggest weekend, I
Yeah,
think.
I think
do it.
you've got
Like,
the most to talk
Start
about.
off
so
with
go for it.
with the real magic for
Yes.
everybody.
Yeah.
So Friday I took off.
Okay.
Thursday night we ended up heading down to Utah to go visit Carly's family. And we got home Thursday after work. I got packed, got the car loaded, got the TVs mounted on the headrests, the whole 9 yards. Got everything ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
Right? We pull out of the driveway at 6:45. Carly's like, "This sucks. We're not going to be able to make it to my sister's till 12:45. It takes about 6 hours tops,
6 hours and that's pinned?
and that's pinned at 90.
Dang.
And I'm like, I think I can beat it.
Yeah.
And she goes, I don't think we're going to get there till 12:45 because we got to do a dinner stop.
Yeah.
We got a couple bathroom stops on this and a gas stop that we can try and get all in one. And I said, I think we can do it. Pull out onto the freeway onto I-84 eastbound
Yeah.
and just set the cruise at 90
Yeah.
on the Camry and just went for it.
Okay.
We rolled in. Our first stop, we stopped at Mr. Gas in Jerome. Augie had to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
He held it so that he could go to Mr. Gas. So
In
we
Jerome.
pulled in
Okay.
Jerome. So we pulled in, stopped. Me and the kids ran in, used the bathroom, hopped back in the car,
Yeah.
hustled to Burley. Once we got to Burley, we flipped around, hit the Maverick, got some gas, got some snacks. We had also done a stop at the Wendy's, got them some food. Eaten
You're
in the car.
already 3 stops in so far, and you're not
It
even.
was all-
you're,
well,
you're not
Burley-
even to Twin Falls.
The Burley
Yeah.
no, we're past Twin Falls.
Oh, okay.
Burley is past Twin.
Okay.
So Burley is there's the Maverick and the Wendy's next door to each other. So filled up with gas, drove through and did a bathroom stop and snacks, and then pulled into the Wendy's drive-through, got the food, hopped back on the freeway.
Okay.
We didn't make another stop until we made it into Carly's sister's neighborhood. I was
No
getting
way.
off. I got off the exit of Springville,
Yeah.
which means I was 10 minutes from her house at midnight.
Oh wow.
That means our total drive time. And this is the crazy thing. I checked my onboard computer
Yeah.
that my car has. It's a trip computer on it.
That's just
Very advanced
It just tells
technology.
you
Tells
mileage.
me, keeps my mileage, tells
Yeah.
me my time of driving,
Okay.
tells me my average speed for the entire trip when I start it.
Most cars have that. Like
Had
after
everything set. It's
2000.
one of the benefits of the 2014 Camry Sport.
Yeah.
Let me know that I was 92 miles an hour average speed,
Wow, that's pretty good.
which means in sometimes I was going way faster than 90.
I bet.
And I was able to do the Kessel run in under 5 over 5 parsecs. So I was able to do it in 5 hours. And
12 parsecs.
Yeah, and 15 minutes for that, or 5 hours and 30 minutes or
Boise
something.
to Salt Lake.
Boise to Mapleton, Utah.
Okay, which is further than Salt Lake.
Just further than Salt Lake. It's about an hour and a half south of Salt Lake.
Yeah.
So I was flying. Like, Carly looked at the clock and she goes, holy crap, we're 45 minutes ahead of what I thought we were going to be. Yeah. And we pulled into her sister's driveway. It was 12:15. Literally. And I was like, that was pretty sweet.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. I mean, we're talking, it was a full-on, made it there.
Were the kids sleeping or
30
were they
minutes.
awake?
Augie was asleep. Hadley was kind of in and out.
Yeah.
But pulled in, spent the night, got in. They just said, come in the back door downstairs. They've got the whole downstairs for us. So we just went in, found one of the rooms, set the kids up, got us, went to bed. Woke up the next morning. Kids just wanted to go straight to the pool. An affordable gravy locator, yeah.
It's important to be affordable.
But made it the next day, got ready. And the whole day we spent out at my sister-in-law's pool, which was really nice, quite relaxing.
Yeah.
I had my sun hat on, didn't move for about 4 hours, burned the tops of my knees.
What was the temperatures like down there?
It was like 95 that
Holy
day.
smokes. So
It was
nice
pretty
day
hot.
for a pool, though,
Nice day
right?
for a pool. It was windy, too, so it had a nice breeze.
Yeah.
So that was really good. Kids played in the pool for like 5 hours. Carly went and ran some errands here and there with her sister. Then the next day was that night we were talking because the next morning was going to be an actual family reunion at her sister's. Her aunts came over and they're like, we got 150 people that are coming to this family reunion in the backyard.
Yeah.
The weather was going to be 104.
Blech.
And so her aunts were like, I just don't know. Some of the families, elderly, and I don't know if that's going to be good. And there's just not enough shade back here, and we got to put tents, and it's just not. I don't know if I want to do it. And we all said, yeah, why don't we just? I'm sure no one's going to worry that they're going to cancel it. So they canceled it.
Oh wow.
So we let the whole family know on both sides, just letting everybody know that hey, it's too hot. And it was funny how everybody wrote back saying, yeah, we weren't planning on coming anyway. So we made it, just basically had a free day. So that night I had some pizza, watched the Red Sox-Yankees game. Next night, watched the Red Sox lose horribly. Then Saturday, we spent the whole day again just chilling by the pool.
Yeah.
Had some of the family that was planning on coming over anyway said, well, we'll come over. And so nice little quiet evening and that afternoon hanging out. Carly and her aunt went shopping. Her aunt was going to take her out shopping for her birthday, so that was really nice of her. I was going to take the kids, go do a little adventure. Me and Augie and Hadley going to go mess around, see what we can find, see what kind of trouble we can get into. So I take the kids. We leave Carly's aunt's house after we drop Carly off. I Google Utah County best arcades.
Ooh, nice.
Right? Start looking. I see a bunch of comments, people saying, you've got to go down to the Rush Center.
Okay.
I said, well, I've never heard of the Rush Center. It's in University Mall. I'm like, well, okay, we'll go there. So we head over, and University Mall has a really cool kids playground splash pad already in the mall. Like like spongy floors, like super soft spongy floors. They have like a big tree house. They have a bunch of stuff that kids can play on, tons of seating. They have like 10 family bathrooms with like little kids toilets and little kids sinks and adult size stuff. So think of like as your kid gets older, you can take them, they can go to the bathroom and there's a toilet. And then outside is a full like splash pad with water and all kinds of stuff, so they can get wet and do stuff. And I thought that's a really nice idea for a mall. Like, there were parents coming in with towels and stuff to just take the kids to the splash pad. But University Mall is crazy now.
Is it?
So they built a whole apartment complex and a parking garage and everything on top of the university.
Wow. So if you really like the mall,
If you really like the mall, not only could you live there, but then there was a Scottish festival going on in Orem. And so they had the courtyard.
Haggis. It was a haggis
they had
competition.
Probably a lot of bagpipes.
They had
going
bagpipes
on.
and dancing in the courtyard. So I'd go out to the water park or the splash pad, and they'll just listen to bagpipes while my kids were running around. So anyway, we went into the Rush Center. The Rush Center. This is a very unique idea. They have like one in Kansas. They have a couple in Utah. They've got a couple more in Arizona. But this is what they do. So picture us in Paramus, right?
Okay.
We're at the
dead
Paramus.
mall?
We're at the Paramus Mall, and it's dead, right?
Yeah.
Big
Like
chunk
that
of the
first
mall
year we went.
is just not available.
It's like under construction, but when you look at it, you clearly know they have no plans
Right.
to finish this project.
So these guys came in, took a wing of the mall,
okay.
built glass doors, so it's clearly separated, put a sign, said Rush Center. You open the doors, you walk in, the main hall has a giant foam pit built into
Nice,
it
okay.
with a trapeze and a
With a
climbing
trapeze?
and a climbing wall.
What? So it's like a full-on gymnastics?
Full on, right?
Wow.
Now,
What? Can
where
just
the
anybody
class,
use that?
Where the classroom or where the classrooms, where the stores are, the storefronts, they've changed. They took out like 10 stores, built bowling alleys, like Big Al style with the big
Sick.
TVs, like the monster TVs.
Yeah.
And bowling alleys.
This does sound awesome.
Right? So I'm like, holy cow. Then the other side, they took out and they built their prize center and their concession stand and all that for their games. And then they have video games everywhere, right?
Oh, wow.
Lining all the other things. Then all the other stores, one is laser tag. One is mini golf. One is coming soon, go-karts.
Oh, wow.
Another one is bumper cars. So they had all these things. So you walk up to the front counter, and they got the kids working, and they're like, "Hey, you can get a wristband for $30 for the day. Gets you unlimited everything, except for arcade stuff.
Yeah.
But you can do bowling, you can do the climbing wall, you can do all that stuff. So really a cool setup. So I'm looking at it, but the prices, I'm like, ooh, this is going to be expensive. So I asked the kids, I go, well, let's wander around and see what they got. What do you guys want to do? Hadley and I go, we want to do laser tag. Never done that before.
They've never done laser
No.
tag?
And I said, oh, well,
Huh.
I'm an old Qzar
Oh,
enthusiast
yeah.
from back
Here
in
we
the
go.
day. Let's do this. So we go in. I go up and pay $8 per person to do laser tag. Take them in, and we go on over to the go get in line. It's just the three of us. And I'm like, well, this is not going to be fun. All of a sudden, 4 other kids under the age of 10 walk up. And my kids are talking to them, and they're BSing. And we get in, and the girl goes, do you guys want to do free-for-all or teams? And Hadley goes, we all want to go. We all want to challenge my dad. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Which is basically a free-for-all.
Yeah,
but not.
and so they're like, the girl's like, all right, you're all ganging up on him. And then at the last minute, this other kid goes, hey, man, I'm going to be on your team.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, all right, let's do it. And I give him a little fist bump. We put on our packs.
All right.
So me and him are blue. Hadley and the 4 other kids are red, and or 5 other kids are red. And so she goes, all right, you got to.
She was a team leader.
Yeah, she goes, you got 20 seconds, get out there, and then the game will start. I'm like, well, all right. So me and that kid go running to one
How
side.
big is this
It's
course?
It's a mall store that they've literally built.
So it's a complete department store.
It's a
built
department
into
store
the-
built. It's the greatest idea I've ever seen.
Honestly, this is awesome because malls across America have been dying for years.
No, such a smart
this is
idea.
a great way
no,
to repurpose
no,
them.
it's not, Dane. It's not a good way to repurpose it because this is what they do to try to bring.
I
it
know,
life.
I know, and it's
And
not going to work,
businesses
but it's fun
fail.
while it lasts.
They
But it
will
was
fail.
it was like, well, that's not
Davis is
I'm
gonna
sure
make
they
a
probably
joke
got
about
this
that.
pretty cheap. But anyway, so they built a really nice little course, like really fun. Do you guys know what it's like to dominate 10-year-olds at laser tag?
Yeah, no, I've seen that episode of It's Always Sunny,
It's,
right?
it's the greatest
great.
feeling. So fun sneaking up on them and all of them
golden
standing
gun.
around like, yeah, dude, I found out I had a scatter gun option on my
Yeah.
laser gun.
Oh,
so I
what?
would like, boom, disable all of them, and then I'd run off to the other side. At one point, though, they got smart and they encircled me. I walked right into a trap.
Okay.
And they all
flanked
put their
you.
guns to my chest, and I was like, what the heck? I got 5. Thankfully, my team partner came over and started picking them off.
Oh,
They
wow.
all disabled, and I was able to sneak out of there and run and go hide. It was amazing. It was the best,
Wow.
20 minutes me and the kids have had.
Yeah.
When we got
That's
done,
great.
and Augie and Hadley were like, when I walk out, and me and that kid had the highest scores on our team.
Yeah.
It was just the two of us.
God,
And
James.
the other kids were like barely. It showed how many shots I'd done, how many kills I had. Hadley was like, "Whoa, Dad, you're amazing." And I was like, "That's right. I am amazing at this." It was a nice feeling.
Yeah, no, and you can what's nice is after you beat them that bad, you can verbally abuse them, right? And just kind of just say horrible
Right.
things.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, this adult's so mean or whatever
Yeah.
it is. And you're like, I owned you.
Yeah.
I owned you. You're nothing, right?
Yeah.
You'll never be anything. And you look at the one little
That's
boy.
what happens when you come at the master. You better, let's not miss
What
when
was
you come at the
crazy
king.
is when you looked at that little boy that was on the opposing team and you said, hey, you're going to be bald by 30. And he was like, what? And
Yeah.
and you go, that's what happened.
Or you're just looking to go, you were adopted, or something
my
like that.
gosh,
Like
Dane.
I'm remembering
No.
kids
That's a little
movies
too
from
far.
the 80s and 90s, and people just treated like kids differently
So-
back then. They were mean.
It was great.
No,
and it's
everything
something
is
that
so
I think
coddled
we
now.
need to
we
go
were,
do as a
we were
team.
battle hardened.
Yeah.
Dane.
I think we need
Yeah.
to do it as a
So
media
what-
team. We need to do that.
I either want to
think it'd be
do
fun.
like laser tag would be pretty fun. I think paintball would be a blast, right? Just because it physically hurts, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, and it would just
Nothing more fun than inflicting
and I
pain on
feel
your
like,
coworker.
and I feel like
Welts.
Sebastian would have the best death scenes,
Yeah.
in the paintball field, right?
I would just assume he would have the best face paint and armor. Like he
Yeah.
would decorate it in such a way that you would never forget it.
Yeah, it would be like a desperado situation, right? It would be
Nice.
kind of cool.
Little
or,
Banderas action.
or Once Upon a Time in Mexico, right?
Okay, a little Depp action.
Yeah, something like that would be pretty cool. So, I mean, we'll see what happens, but
Yeah.
I would agree as a team building exercise,
It was
that
a
would
blast.
just be fun to see who comes out on top, right?
Yeah.
We did the go-karting thing.
Yeah.
It was rigged. Jimmy got the fastest cart, right? He also weighs the least, right?
They also forced fed us breakfast burritos
Jimmy and
before
Gabe
we
were
went
the
out.
skinniest.
Well, and then Gabe also, his timing on that go-kart track was just better than everybody else's because
He was lighter than all of us, too.
he just wasn't in the crowd, right?
Right.
Yeah.
He basically created some distance where he could
If
have the
you could
fastest
be
lap
free
time.
of the group, you could go faster.
But I mean,
no question.
and I came in third, and I was just so disappointed because I'm like, first
Nick
off,
and I
Gabe
got
beat me.
horrifically nauseous.
And
Yeah,
I'm
no,
like-
I got nauseous. It was a
And then you
combination
did
of
too,
the
yeah.
fumes in an enclosed area and having just had those humongous burritos, which was a horrible idea.
Yeah, we shouldn't have eaten burritos
Yeah,
before
that
we
was
went
not
go-karting.
No.
And basically just constant centrifugal force.
Yeah,
and
I was
just,
like, it was bad. But
that in a horrible seating position, so my
Yeah.
arms just stretched like this to the max the whole way. Oh.
laser tag, way more fun. So
Yes.
finished up the laser tag. The kids played. I gave them some money to go play on video games. They got their prizes. We then left, headed over to Swig, Utah institution. It's like a Dutch Brothers, or a drive-through coffee shop, but instead of coffee,
Of course.
sodas.
You guys and your sodas.
Put in my order. I'd like
So,
a 44 ounce in an
When I
insulated
hear
cup.
Swig,
No,
I
with
think
Pebble
alcohol,
Ice.
but clearly this
I
And I
is
would
know
like
not
Diet
that.
Pepsi.
Dentists-
with
For
some
obvious
Pepsi.
reasons.
Dentists in Salt Lake City must make
Make
an
a
absolute
killing.
Oh, yeah.
freaking killing.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because,
So-
I mean, for the Mormons, it's like it's one of those situations where they're like, hey, like sugar drinks, you should all drink them, right? And you're
Yeah.
like, are you sure? Because, I mean, like,
A lot of 'em drink
this many
diet.
sugar drinks
Yeah.
can lead to diabetes and then also cavities and horrible, mouth ulcers and things like that. And with all the sugar intake and high blood sugar and high blood pressure and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And they say this is what he would have wanted
Yeah,
That's
well,
sugar.
the profit.
so
by
this
the
is
way.
one thing you could get.
Yeah.
They have all the different fountain sodas on tap.
Yeah.
You put in your order. They've got different names for each drink that come different mixed. I ordered Augie and Hadley a couple like shark attacks.
Do
and
they
some other
actually
stuff.
have a graveyard on the menu? Like, they just
Probably
throw everything together?
Yeah, well, that's
It's not
called a
called a
suicide.
graveyard, it's called a suicide.
Well, I was avoided calling it that because,
But
touchy
anyway,
topic. But
I ordered a half diet, half regular Pepsi with just a splash of vanilla
Yeah.
and a splash of raspberry. And they were like,
I can see that happening.
"Oh, okay."
Yeah.
It was delicious. Then a couple dirt balls, which are chocolate cookies
Yeah.
with chocolate frosting.
It's just a chocolate
yeah,
cookie with
that's
chocolate
just, that's
frosting
just chocolate
on it.
with
It's just-
different
Pretty
levels of
pretty
consistency.
ridiculous. So had a couple of those. We drove back to the house, hung out, watched the Red Sox Yankees. This time the Red Sox beat the Yankees, which
you
was
go.
awesome. Put the kids to bed. Sunday morning, woke up. And
Sunday was a special day.
Sunday was Carly's birthday, but we were also leaving. So Friday was our 17th anniversary, wedding anniversary.
Wow, it's all just happening.
17 years.
Same-
Yeah.
So 17 years, right? So to celebrate, right, with her, right, it was driving down to Utah, spend time with the family. She gets to
Eat
see
some
her
pizza.
family, eat pizza, have
Watch
a good
the
time.
Red Sox lose.
So, which I think is a great
that's
anniversary,
nice. That's
a great
a really
anniversary,
thoughtful thing to
and a
do.
birthday present,
Very
all
nice.
in one.
Very
I think
nice,
it's
yeah.
nice of you to do that,
Yeah.
right?
Saturday, I bought breakfast for the family at the Sidecar Cafe, which is
Oh, yeah.
next door to Legends Motorcycle Museum. Super cool place.
Yeah.
I wore my Triumph shirt.
Did you really?
Wow.
You love
He's
that
been
shirt.
getting more mileage out of that shirt than you have.
No, well, because
That's
they
'cause
didn't
they
have
fit
my
me.
damn
People have also been
size.
complimenting him more on his Triumph
Well,
shirts than I
as a
see you
Triumph
getting.
owner.
Yeah, they go up to
it's
Levi.
nice to get
They
those,
go, well, this is what Levi says. Levi, hey, nice Triumph shirt. And he goes, oh, thanks. I got this at the Triumph Factory Museum over in Hinckley, right?
Yeah.
And people go, wow, that's so cool. And that's so awesome.
Yeah. And I said,
And he
"Thanks,
goes,
that was
yeah.
all my idea."
He's all my idea. There's just no real other reason I wanted
Yeah.
to go there other than just to buy this shirt.
Well, I saw that they were so close, and I thought, what a fun thing I could do with the guys.
Well, they
For
look
the
at
guys.
Levi and they go, that
Right.
guy owns a Triumph.
Yeah.
They look at Anthony and they go, that guy owns a CBR.
Yeah. I kind of wish.
But yeah, so but anyway, it was but I bought breakfast for the family.
Yeah.
You know, took the kids out while Carly went out with her aunt, who bought her a bunch of clothes, which was great. Took her shopping for her birthday, so it was super sweet. Sunday, drove home. Spent the day driving home. Our drive home, about 5 hours and 45 minutes. Drive back.
Yeah.
Not as fast as I had hoped. Had a couple slowdowns due to some construction. That was kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
So made it home. Mm-hmm. Washed the car, got all the bugs off of it and everything. Got Carly's car cleaned up. Got all the garbage out of the car. Just road trip stuff, you know.
The
Got
kids
the
are
place
gonna-
cleaned up.
yeah.
Carly asked me if you could go grab some groceries. I said I was planning on it. Yeah, I'm gonna go get some stuff.
Yeah.
Picked up a cake for her.
That's nice.
We surprised her with a cake.
Nice. It's
What-
nice to get a
what kind
cake.
of cake?
A rainbow cake.
Rainbow cake.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
okay. Like
40
funfetti
on it.
or-
Yeah, no, a rainbow. It's
Rainbow.
a rainbow.
Oh, rainbow,
It's-
rainbow.
If
Okay.
you haven't had an Albertsons rainbow cake,
Okay.
holy
been a
cow,
minute.
it's delicious.
I haven't. What is it? What is it like?
It's delicious. I can't
What's it
explain
like? Is it rainbow?
Because
Yeah.
when somebody says a rainbow cake, I
Is it
think
literally a
funfetti.
rainbow
When you
cake?
cut the cake open, it's like tons of different colors.
Yeah, it's
I
just-
will have a
it's a
birthday
whole
coming up for
spectrum,
somebody
yeah.
special as
Yeah.
well. And
a
so,
rainbow cake is delicious.
Okay.
It's really good. So we had that and 40, numbers on it. Just spent the evening hanging out, got the kids to bed. Carly enjoyed her presence. And then about 11:30, Carly and I are watching TV, hanging out, enjoying her favorite show, Spy, laughing. We're having a great time watching that movie. If you guys haven't seen Melissa
I was
McCarthy's
going to say, not a
Spy,
show, a movie. Yes.
Paul Feig.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so well written.
Is that the
and so,
Jason Statham, Melissa McCarthy one?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I
good.
need to see that.
So good. Gosh, it's funny. So we're watching the movie, and all of a sudden we hear something like fall off the walls. It sounded like a picture fell off the wall.
yeah.
Huh.
So Carly's like, "What the heck was that?" And I
Like
go,
a
"What?"
cat knock it down.
Yeah, it's kind of like
yeah.
what I thought. And I was like, well, maybe, I don't know, maybe the cat jumped off of the bed onto Hadley's dresser, knocked something down. So I open the door. Nope, Simon, the new cat, is sleeping in Hadley's bed. I'm like, Walk into Augie's room thinking maybe Sherlock, who's a big fat cat, fell out of the bed and landed on some of Augie's toys. Look in there, Sherlock's sound asleep with Augie. I'm like, that's weird. Look in our room, make sure no pictures have fallen off the walls. Nothing. Like, Carly, there's nothing. Everything looks fine. That's weird. As I'm walking down the hall, I look to my right, in our back glass sliding door, one of the panes has completely shattered and is in the process of cracking as we speak.
But it's safety glass, right? So it's not like
Tempered
falling
safety
out
glass
yet.
hasn't
Okay.
fallen out. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And it sounds like a hailstorm is hitting the window, like that pop, 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 pop.
Or like
tap,
standing
tap,
on a
tap,
frozen
tap, tap.
lake and it's
Yeah.
all starting
You
to...
can, and so we both get, I'm like, Carly, come here. And so we both get up and we're looking at this window as it's just continuing to shatter, which is wild to watch as it's fracturing. And it's fracturing kind of in a spiral. It's really wild how it's working. No idea. It was 70 degrees outside, 70 degrees inside.
So not really a differential.
Not a differential in pressure. the weirdest thing I've ever seen. It was the outside pane broke. I walked outside to look at it and didn't see a rock, didn't see anything nearby.
There was no like obvious point on it where something would have
There is
stuck
on
it?
the lower portion, like the lower corner. There's a crack that goes this way. But again, that's where everything kind of fractures out from.
A big bug just flew into it
But
really
yeah,
just started
but just kind of one of those where I was like, what the heck?
That's weird.
It's a
Outside was
sign.
quiet.
It's a sign. I don't know what the sign is, but there's a sign.
The sign is
outside.
you got to replace the patio door.
So I called yesterday, called my homeowner's insurance. They said, hey, your deductible's $1,000 now. It used to be $500. Now it's
I was
$1,000.
going to say, at that point, you're
I
basically
wouldn't
paying
go
for the...
through homeowner's
And
insurance.
they said, we'll cover anything over $1,000 if you want.
Yeah.
Just let us know. So but my
Plexiglass.
but my
You
insurance
don't want that
lady
as a permanent fixture.
has been my insurance lady for 16 years. So she goes, honestly, I would just start calling glass companies and see
Yeah.
if they can just replace the pane because that'll probably be a lot cheaper.
True.
So I called 3 glass companies.
Yeah.
And one said, yeah, we'll be out there on the 19th, Tuesday the 19th. And I said, oh, that's a whole week away. That's 1 week. And they're like, yeah, sorry, we're just busy.
That's not that bad.
And
though,
I go,
for not shattered, not
okay.
having shattered, not
Yeah, I
having
mean,
broken glass.
It's
on the ground.
it's still providing a barrier.
It's still providing a barrier. And I'm like, okay, well, I appreciate that. I call another company. They go, yeah, we'll give you a call in about 24 to 48 hours and we'll be out, like we'll plan a time to come out in 24 to 48 hours. And I'm like, okay, that works. I appreciate it. They're like, we'll come give you a quote. And both companies said, we'll give you a quote to replace the glass and to replace the door, the whole thing. And I said, all right, well, that works. I call a third company, notorious for being the most expensive in the valley.
Oh, goody.
But that guy goes, oh, yeah, don't doubt it. We've done 12 of those in the last 3 weeks.
Any
I said,
particular
"What?"
reason, dude?
Yeah, I'm like, that's happened? He's like, yeah. I was like, the other guys have been like, oh, yeah, I heard it's happened, but never really seen it. And he goes,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know what it is. We've gotten like 12 calls. Super easy. All we got to do, you just give me the daylight measurements of the glass. We'll come out. He goes, I can quote it over the phone.
Wow.
He goes, just because we've done so many in the last 2 weeks, not a problem. Just give me a quote, or just give me the measurements. I'll give you a quote over the phone. I said, wow, I appreciate it. I'll give you a
That's
call back.
Great, actually.
I called my dad last night, told him the whole spiel. My dad goes, ooh, I got a glass company that's doing some work for me on my rentals. Cheapest in town. Lowest
Oh, boy.
prices. You should give them a call and see what it's going to cost.
Cheap doesn't always equal
So here's
good,
what
folks.
and he goes, they replace glass. That's all they do. They don't like doing full
Yeah.
replacements, and they do it at a very reasonable rate. And I said, oh, I like this. Then he goes, they could also come out when they do that, give you a quote for that door. Maybe they give you a quote for that piece of glass you've got upstairs that Augie broke.
Oh,
When he threw the magnet, broke that giant picture window
Oh, yeah.
in my upstairs.
And let's hope he
room.
never does that again.
And which I'm like, to pull that whole unit and replace is probably the cost of the Elantra.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, they could probably just pull the glass and replace just that piece of glass. And I was like, oh my gosh, I would love that if they did that. So I'm gonna make some phone call. I've got 2 more people or a place to call today. I got to call that other company back, give them direction, the measurements. Hope that's the end of it, because I just replaced our dishwasher 2 weeks ago. That's supposed to arrive on the 19th and get installed.
Comes in threes, but there's a third one. Wait for
Oh,
it.
no.
There's a third one.
I don't want it to be a third.
Maybe
thing.
they
I
were
don't have
already
money
at
for
first,
that.
too, and this was the third.
It could be
and
the
you
garage
just
door
didn't pick up on
opener,
it.
or it could be something like
Well,
that.
garage door opener on Carly's car is dead, so it
it-
needs batteries.
Well, I'm not the open. I'm talking about the
It's a
actual
watch
garage door
battery.
motor. The
I don't
motor.
want that. Leave it. It's good.
it-
That's
could
a
be-
very low likelihood.
It could be that. I mean, it could be a number of
you
things.
put that hate on me, Ricky.
I mean, it could be, maybe there's a light
I don't
bulb
want
that
any of
goes
that
out.
jinx stuff.
No.
Right? Could be something
So,
small.
I'm hoping it's something small. I'm hoping it's just some simple things. My wife went in to go get a root canal this morning, and they told her, "Hey, we're going to pull your tooth, but then you'll probably break some teeth. If we pull this tooth, you're probably going to have some problems. So let's check again. I don't really want to do that root canal. But, oh, hey, look, the root's already dead. Let's just call it a day. We don't even need to touch your mouth."
Yeah.
So
So wait, you went in there and now you got to pay like a fee because you
yeah,
showed
so
up.
she came out. She called me on the way over, and she's like, "So I had to pay $175 for nothing."
Nice.
So maybe that's the third thing.
I'm
Let's
hoping
leave it
that's
at that. Let's
hoping
hope
that's the third
it
thing.
for
Let's
him,
just say that's it, right? So, needless to say, I'm looking forward to the rest of this week. Nothing bad happening.
Problem free.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I get
Philosophy.
Hopefully, I get a good quote on a
Hakuna
nice.
Matata.
I'm hoping it's like, yeah, we'll be out there to $200. Oh,
yeah.
wow, this is great. That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
That would be amazing.
I'm not looking forward to when one of those guys comes out and goes, $3,700 and we'll replace this whole sliding glass door. But the door's $700. Yeah, it's just $3,000. That's
well,
what I'm calling my.
Labor.
So,
Yeah.
anyway, so that was my weekend. It wasn't as exciting as I hoped, but let me
it's
tell
okay.
you, eating some of the benefits of the weekend, sitting by the pool,
Yeah.
eating Sidecar Cafe for breakfast, which was delicious, enjoying a delicious swig soda and a dirt ball. It's one of my favorite things to do when we're down in Utah.
Yeah.
And then straight dominating,
Destroying
a bunch of kids at laser tag.
Yeah.
Just fun. That
There you
was
go.
those things, and then celebrating 17 years of marriage and my
roll
wife's
it all
40th
up into
birthday.
one.
It's a good time. Good time. Good
all
weekend.
right.
What'd you guys do?
Well, it's okay. Sometimes some weekends aren't going to be as exciting as others, and that's just life. So, you know what? When we do this, we kind of represent what real life is like. I mean, we're putting it out there. So, thank you to those of you who are watching, listening, and now Levi can catch up on some of the
Look at
comments
some
that
of
have been
these
rolling
here.
through, because there have
Yeah.
been some funny ones I haven't seen go up on the screen, but there's some pretty funny ones. Yeah. So as far as the weekend goes, once again, not too exciting. Although more recently, just last night, I started putting up the mobile pudding bar, moving it next door. I started putting up that pool I bought.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I started filling that thing up.
Cool ownership, Dane.
And, my backyard ain't exactly level, and everybody always talks about, make sure you read the instructions, build a level pad to put your own thing on it. It's like, you always get kind of cocky, and you're like, I know better than these instructions. I'll be fine. Hey, well, you know how that turns out. So, sure enough, kind of skipped the instructions. Just went ahead, started filling it up after I laid it out. Inflated the tube most of the way. I'd say I did
Did
it
you
like
use your air compressor?
80%. Actually, no. I used a double pump air compressor that I
or
have.
double pump.
Yes, a pump. I am the compressor.
Yeah.
I'm compressing the pump. Not even a full horsepower. But so I'm doing that, filling it up like it's a raft. And it was fine. It's mostly because that was the only thing I had that had the correct attachment for it. If I had the correct attachment for my
Do you have a
compressor, I would
blowgun?
just use that.
Don't you have a blowgun?
Yeah, but like a tire inflator one, not like the big nub one. that
Oh,
it
you
needs.
just like the little black guns we have. You can use those, and you can just stick it in the hole,
Oh.
and then pull the trigger, and it just starts blowing all
Yeah,
the air out of your
mine
compressor.
has like the little valve
yeah, you just
thing at
don't
the
have
end.
that, yeah.
It's like a bike pump.
Yeah.
It's meant for stems.
Yeah,
So
that's not the right. Yeah,
No, it's not the right thing. So I just had this big like raft inflator, which worked fine.
that's what you used, right? You used your air compressor gun, you just stuck it in the hole and filled it up. Yeah.
I got a hell of a workout, I'll say that. But
Well, that's
at
good.
least
That's
know
nice.
when you pull up, it's pumping too. So it's just double timing it. But yeah, I filled it up like maybe, I don't know, 80%, 75, 80% on the air around the ring, just enough to like get it to shape. And it was still soft, but it was enough for the time being. I was like, all right, let's start putting some water in here. And the hard part with these pools is you basically have all these wrinkles at the bottom you kind of got to level out, but they
Yeah, you
don't
gotta
start
stretch 'em.
moving. You can't really move them right until you start getting some water in there.
Yeah, some weight.
But it's a game of trying to figure out how much water is too much before it becomes impossible to move those things
So
out.
Dane, it's a Justin Pate technique, right? It's
Yeah.
called reading the lines, right? And so
Yeah, you gotta
Justin
read the
and so,
lines.
Yeah,
and so
gotta read the lines.
Justin Pate will look at the wrinkles, right, and read the wrinkles and say, okay, I got to
like
pull this
Middleton.
wrinkle here, pull this.
Tension.
It's the same thing. With
Yeah.
the bottom of those pools
So-
on that tarping.
Long story short, effectively what happened to me was the pool, I was following the video instruction where they're like, hey, when you get to a certain point, pick up the ring and start like kicking out the bottom part so that it sticks out below, because you want to have like essentially like a mushroom shape going on here where it's wider at the bottom than it is at top.
Mushroom shape,
I mean, hey, however you want to look at it.
upside down. bowl.
We're talking about a bowl
Chili
that's, but like an inverse bowl, because most bowls are wider at the brim than they are at the base. So in this case, we're going for the opposite of that. But yeah, kick it out a little bit, or you could think of it as a stunted beaker, I guess, a very stunted beaker. Anyway, kicking out the bottom, all that's great, but the problem is the way the water started filling up, it shifted so that what would have been the wall on the slightly downhill side just became the floor. And so there was no wall to be resistant. So the whole thing just started going out, and I was filling it. It didn't start happening until about 4 hours into filling it. And I went and checked, and I was like, oh no, I could see water just very slowly pouring over the top
and
of
then
the
you
brim.
go
I'm
to
like,
you go to push it, and you're like, oh, that's heavy.
No, when I went to move it, it created a tidal wave, and it whooshed out there. And this is at like 10 at night. So then it came back at me, and then all of a sudden the wave just like boosh, and it sent me like actually backwards. I'm like, oh, wow, okay. So, so I have to drop the rim a little bit, let some of the water out, readjust. But it's going to be a hot day today, so I'm like letting some of
So
that
did
burn
you
off.
build up any? Did you go get some bags of dirt to like build up a ledge?
So that's going to be my move, is to
I
build up a little bit on the side. I'm going to get some sandbags
Okay.
And set that up around the side.
Oh,
But
okay, yeah.
that's about as much as I'm going to do, because I really don't think it needs too much.
'Cause
It's still pretty level.
So
It's
my
just
backyard is
kinda
not
leans
level.
off.
It
Yeah.
slopes downward
Yeah.
to the point.
Yeah.
And I had to load up and get like 10 bags of dirt from Home Depot
Yeah.
and build a berm.
Mm-hmm.
So that way when we set the pool on, the berm would hold it up. So that,
Yeah.
and it still had a slight tilt.
Yeah, and
it.
I'm okay with a little bit of tilt. I expected there to be some. I'm like, if the water's not perfectly level, it's fine, because
What you
it's
don't
deep
want is
enough
it
you
to
can make it
push
work.
all of it out.
You don't want it to say, like Liz was looking at it and was afraid, like, well, what if there's too much water on one side? It just starts to slide down the hill. Like, that won't happen. It's
That'd be
way
great, though,
too
when that
much
does
on
happen and the landslide occurs afterward.
Yeah,
because
no,
of
I'm
the
going to be responsible for a
7,000
natural
gallons
disaster.
of water that Dane has just filled his pool with.
Yeah.
So fun experiments in home pool making. But anyway, I'm on that bent now, so I'm actually filling it up just in time for Liz's mom to arrive. She's never been to Boise.
nice.
She's never been here,
gonna
and
enjoy
she
those
hasn't.
amenities.
She hasn't seen it around here, so I'm like, let's have a nice amenity in the backyard for
romantic
them to
lighting.
enjoy.
Now that he's got the lighting all built
Yeah,
in.
I've got
Yeah.
the lighting out there. It's nice.
Massage chair.
It's really
Massage
nice.
chair.
Yeah, I mean it's fully stocked and ready to go.
Polydactyl
So-
cat making biscuits on you.
Polydactyl cat, yes. So, nothing too exciting, just working on that. I would say the most interesting thing I did during the week that would be relevant to people actually watching that has nothing to do with homemaking, because people get tired of that. Maybe a little homemaking. I've kind of been working on building out my my studio at home, like in my actual office area.
The downstairs one.
Yeah, it's the last room I've touched in the whole house. The downstairs has been left alone. All the stuff up above is like more like general people areas. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, those have to look
Yeah.
good. But downstairs, I'm kind of like, okay, it's a garage entrance, and then there's the bathroom with the shower, and then there's my office, which
But
just
you
has
can
a
just
bunch
shut
of
the door,
boxes in
too.
it, which I can shut the door.
Yeah.
And then there's the like entertainment room down
Yeah.
there. And I still got a whole bunch of art that needs to go up on the walls, but a lot of the art from my old place doesn't match the new house. It's all like dark and moody stuff. It's like old like fisherman, paintings and stuff like. I know you're gonna make fun, but they are like some amazing paintings from the 40s and 50s that are
don't
like
doubt it.
actually painted of like old sea shanties and ships and stuff like that.
love
Really impressionist painting, like
pirate stuff.
yeah, no, it looks rad. Like if somebody's interested, I might want to just give them to people who would actually feel they fit better in their homes. But no, they're all rather dark and moody though. So if somebody's interested, let me know. I could take some pictures and show
Speaking of dark, moody pictures,
what? Well, okay, so hold on, because I was getting to that bit, but I'm building up hopefully make a little bit of a home podcast studio home. I think that would be fun.
I like that. Yeah.
Make a place that people can come over and hang out. We can have off the cuff stuff too to kind of build on that. But then the other thing that I will add is, apart from all this, I had a shared experience with Anthony watching a movie last week, and we can kind of talk about that, and then we can branch into your weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Dane. Oh, I mean, there's no way. There's no way I can't do this. So, Nick, I'm gonna need that camera over here.
Oh,
there we go.
No.
So,
Gee, Davis.
speaking of dark,
Take
guys,
as many screenshots
get
as
your
you possibly can.
screenshots in now, folks. And if needed, at the request of anybody, I will be able to take some high-quality photos of these. I won't be able to scan them in, unfortunately, but I can take some high-quality photos and then post them to the Rag Company podcast discussion group. I assume there's going to be accounts created. But I want to point out a couple things here for Dane.
I'm
Not
glad
only
that the glare is ruining some of the pictures from being too good.
Dane did have a chin strap here, which
Sure
is
did.
hilarious. And I said, Dane, you look like a bully.
He looks
And
like his own bully.
So I asked him, is the bully that you pushed down the stairs in high school, was that you? Did you push yourself down those stairs? Because
it's like him.
That was
it's like
2006.
like
it
in The
was
Boys.
barely acceptable
it's
then.
Homelander. He's standing
Yeah.
in front of a mirror talking to himself.
yeah, and but I mean the frosted tips,
Oh,
the
man.
suit. I mean, Carolyn, thank you so much for bringing this
That
in
was so sweet of
because
her to do
she
that.
literally looked at me.
I
and said,
literally walked right past it. I didn't know it was in here until they pointed out when we were starting. I'm like, oh,
She said,
no.
Anthony, I have something very special for the podcast. I think you guys are going to love it, right?
Those
And
long shorts or short pants.
and
It
it's
says Joey Belinsky.
it's more than love on these photos. Like
Dude,
it's
it was
absolutely
2006. I don't know what else to say.
My favorite is that in that top right corner there, Dane is wearing a shirt that says California on it.
Yeah.
Now you would laugh and say, why would you be wearing a shirt that says California on it, right? This is a cool thing to do as a teenager in
Nick, you're gonna
Idaho,
have to
right?
post that
Because
Gmail
California would
Meant
show
you'd been there.
would show that you've been to California, and people would say, "Hey, did you go to California this summer?" And then they go, "Yeah, I did."
Got the shirt.
And they say, "Well,
Got the
they said, well, where'd you go?" And
All
you're
over.
like, "I went to Merced." And they're like, "That is so awesome." So was the beach nice? And you're like, "Mm-hmm. It was really cool."
Yep.
And then they say, "Oh, that's so awesome." Or you could say, "I went to the boardwalk, right? And I got,
No, I routinely, I went to
when I
Venice.
stepped
I
on
went to
a
Santa Barbara.
heroin needle,
I went to the usual
in, you know,
spots.
Watched a guy hold a bunch
Santa
of chairs
Cruz.
up with a spoon in his mouth.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Or you went to Venice Beach and saw your first, like, oh, there's a lot of firsts
See,
there
Dave,
on Venice.
there are-
That was
first
from
there.
when Dane hosted Teen Mom for MTV.
Yeah. So
I love the.
Oh,
I want to
no.
know what's the angst of you up against the concrete.
I don't know.
The
That
brick wall.
was a
That's a very
photographer's decision,
it's a
and he's just
photographer's
like,
pose.
get in there, and
Why
I'm
don't you
like,
just get
wait,
in
you want
there?
me to just like lean on the wall and go, you know, like they do in like Vanity Fair and stuff like that. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay.
That's awesome.
So
I love
that is.
kudos.
Remember,
to the,
this is peak MySpace, guys.
Yeah, kudos to the. and there were
Facebook was
these-
only just.
These were your
beginning.
senior photos.
These were senior photos taken in 2006. I graduated in 07, so they're like right around that point.
So
Yeah.
young. I was a 27-year-old married man.
Man.
yeah. No, that
Buying a
Different
house.
time, different
Like-
era.
Yeah.
no, this
a young gun.
so what's funny is his senior photos look so different than mine.
Yeah.
Like literally so different. Mine, I was wearing, I don't know, probably a Hollister polo, probably some normal cargo shorts. I think at that time, shoes wise, I don't know, like maybe Vans or something like that. Or I was probably still wearing skate shoes. So I was
Are
probably
you
wearing,
saying I was overdressed for the
what
occasion?
were those shoes called? Audios?
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about? The A,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the A logo. I
So
probably was
my
wearing
senior photos,
skate shoes like that.
we didn't have money to hire a
What
photographer.
year?
Yeah.
This would have been 1998.
Okay. Okay.
So,
So, basically,
my senior
11
photos
years earlier.
was just me in the
Or sorry, not
upper
11.
tux.
What am I
Yeah.
that they put on at the studio
Yeah.
solely to get a picture of me in a tux
Yeah.
for the yearbook.
Oh man,
That was
they
all.
would do
that's-
that. They
but
would do
that's-
that.
But
They'd
that's
just
the
slip
only,
it on top. And they're like,
that's
"There
the
you go."
only senior photo I have,
Yeah.
and I have my hair pulled back in a ponytail, and it's summer,
Yeah.
and I'm working at the car wash, so I am so brown,
Yeah.
clean shaven except for some good little chops,
Yeah.
and I am brown with long hair and a ponytail.
You are
and
the
a tux.
most 6% Mexican you've
That's
ever
the
been.
most 6% Mexican I have ever been.
Can I say that?
I will show you.
That is so-
Can't put that genie back in the
I'll find my.
bottle.
I'll find my photo, and I think it's something we're gonna have to upload into the group.
Oh, my God.
It is. It is. I kid you not, the most 6% Mexican.
You know what? Let's
I am
in
the
the Rag
most
Company
Mexican kid.
discussion group on Facebook. Let's have a senior photo battle.
Yeah, I think
Everybody
that's a
posts
great
their
idea.
senior
I
photos.
think it's a great idea.
No matter what year it was, it could have been recent. It could have been a long time ago. Let's just put them out there and
Yeah.
see how everybody feels then versus now.
Yeah.
See how
I
it
like
turned
this.
out for you.
Well, so the senior, so going back to what I was saying, that my senior photos was, I was like I said, I was probably wearing some type of polos or whatever it was, and I had my long, like, surfer skater hair kind of thing. But the crappy part, this always happens, right? And I want to tell parents this because I won't do this as a parent. When your parents like, oh, we need to get some senior photos, right? And you know somebody's sister's cousin's aunt that just bought a camera who's trying to get in photography who says, I'll take their senior photos for you, right?
Yeah.
And you go, oh, wow, that would be so awesome. You have a camera?
Yeah,
Professional
Sony
camera?
Cybershot.
And they say, yeah, I just bought my Canon, EOS, whatever it is, their first camera, the stock lens, right? And they go out and shoot you. And then not shoot you, but they go out and take your photos.
Disc in the
well,
bottom.
dude, it was just like she gave us back all these prints, and I'm looking at them. I go, wow, I'm like,
Can't tell which one I like.
and I go, are most of these out of focus? And literally, dude, I would say out of the however many photos I got, half of them were out of focus, meaning that like my face wasn't in focus, the background was in focus.
Yeah.
But my mom like gave her money for the prints, and because the lady went down to wherever Walmart got them printed or wherever she did it, right? And they were all in that satin finish, no gloss. It was all satin, right, to make it look high end. And I'm looking, I'm like, these are all out of focus. And my sister, Caitlin, was like, I think we can do better photos in the backyard with just me and you.
Yeah.
And I said, let's go do it, right? She's like, cool, go do your hair. I'm like, what a cool sister, right?
Yeah.
She's my little sister. But so she's out there like standing on top of a shed, pointing down at me, getting MySpace photos. And I'm like, this is awesome, right?
Yeah, those are great.
It's so nice when someone else takes
No,
the
like some of the
pictures.
photos turn out great. I'll have to go back and find some. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say as a parent, I know you probably want to save money and probably not have to spend money on senior photos. I totally get that. At the same time, I think your phone nowadays can probably take just as good as photos that can probably do the job if you just dress nice enough for it. Or if you're going to pay somebody that has at least a portfolio or something. But there's people that are trying to build a portfolio. But I will say, some people are not meant to be photographers.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely a part of that. I was going to say, I used to shoot, my side hustle in college was shooting senior photos for other people.
Yeah.
So
and they
that
didn't
was
turn
the
out
thing.
as good as this. I mean, that is right
They
there.
were pretty
that's-
decent, but I didn't have a studio like that. So that's another level.
Amazing studio session. I also received Next Day Nate's senior photo.
Oh, no.
It sat on my fridge. When he gave it to me on his senior year, he handed it to me. Carly and I got it, and we put it on our fridge.
How much hair does he have in the picture?
He has hair. He's sitting.
So he has hair. Okay.
He's sitting like this, and he's looking, and
He
he's
would sit
smiling,
like that
and
for a
he's got a
picture.
red polo on.
Yeah.
Is it just like very Step Brothers kind
He's
of
like
awkward or
smiling it's an awkward. It's a
Okay.
very cute photo, but
Nice, okay.
he gave it to me. Like he came into work and he's like, "Got my senior photos. Anybody want any?" My mom asked me to see if you guys wanted some, and I was like, "I'll take one."
Yeah.
And he got me out a little wallet size
That's
one,
awesome.
handed it to me, and I was like, "This is awesome." It's like a
Yes.
2x3, and I took it home and I go, "Carly, look, I got look what Nate gave me," because we call him Natron, and I was like, "Look what I got," and she was like, "Yeah," and we put it on the fridge, and I took a picture, and I said, "You're now on the fridge," and
Oh man.
yeah, and
That's
hey,
great.
now he works here, and he's Next Day Nate, but
Yeah.
we go back, we go way back.
That's great. Now, Josh Brodo chimes in and says
Yeah.
the Audios and Osiris's were the primo.
Yeah,
Now, Osiris's, I only had like one pair of them, and they were just they were too big. Like, they were too puffy, man. Like, you're walking around, and you look like you didn't look
pontoons on your feet.
like look like real feet. But the Audios had a little bit of puffiness to them. But I remember I had a couple pairs of those, and then I had some like there's etnies were really popular in my high school. Like a lot of the girls got white etnies, and if it wasn't the white etnies, it was the white Adidas with the black stripes on them, or it was
Weird.
the Pumas.
See, so 1998, it was at Bishop Kelly.
Yeah,
It was a lot of Patagonia,
yeah,
a lot of Columbia, a lot of just 501s,
yeah.
and then Sambas, Adidas Sambas, and Chucks, and Doc Martens.
And Chuck's never went out of style.
And Doc Martens, but that was, and then Elaine dresses from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Like the Elaine dress. Like everybody had those with like jean jackets.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so it was very weird.
Nowadays, it's
Kinda,
it's
it was
similar.
the
There's
end
a lot
of grunge, but not like,
Yeah.
it's starting to come back. I see girls in those dresses.
There's a ton of North Face and Patagonia
I
stuff
see a lot of
these
girls
days,
in the
though.
dresses with the Docs and jean jackets at the mall, and I'm like, what year am I in? It's very
Yeah.
strange to see that style.
Oh,
come
DC
back.
shoes. I had a few of those. Yeah.
DC.
I can't wait till your guys'
I had plenty of
2006 style
DCs.
comes back in.
I love
and you're going to see
skate
people and
shoes.
go, what the heck? in high school again?
Skate shoes are awesome, man. They're super comfortable. And
But I will say right now, no skate shoe I ever wore, despite the whole reason I wore them being that they were comfortable, has ever compared to these Brooks. These Brooks have totally spoiled me for any other shoe.
Yeah.
my ankles hurt sometimes after wearing my Brooks, just because I think the posture is trying to fix my posture.
Yeah. Well,
And your body's
and then my
rejecting
body's
it.
rejecting it, and my knees start hurting sometimes. So I'm wearing my Brooks today. What am I wearing today? I'm wearing the
got the
Adrenaline 22s. Look at that. You can kind of see
Nice.
it peeking in the bottom there.
Still rocking the Ghosts.
I got the Ghosts on
Yeah.
today. We get a better shot. There you go.
There you go.
Ghost 14s. Dane's got his 13s.
Yeah. So, anyways, jumping into it, weekend-wise, so Friday night, right? I asked Katie. I said, "Hey, I think I want to go see a movie tonight." And she says, "With me?" And I said, "Possibly, or if without you." And
It's always a good way to phrase it.
Yeah.
and I said, "Well,
Super
because
cool.
the new Thor movie came out, Love
Yeah.
and Thunder. I want to go see that." And she says, "Well." She's like, if you would like to go see it with Dane or somebody, she's like, you're more than welcome to. She's like, I am not offended.
Me and the
She's
kids,
like,
me and the kids and Carly are going to go this weekend.
she said
See,
that
Katie likes me. I get a pass.
Yeah, she said, if you want to go with Dane, she's like, that's fine. She's like, I really don't care. She's like, we can go later this weekend or some other time.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm not in any rush like you are. And I said, well, I am in a rush. I need to go see this movie. So
Before someone else talks about it and I hear something I don't want to hear yet.
I hit up Dane. I said, hey, 10 o'clock showing.
10:15, dude.
10:15. I'm like, what do you think? Dane's like, why so late? I said, because I have a baby, Dane, and I have to
Like,
wait
oh,
till the
right,
baby
those things.
Goes
is
to
getting
sleep.
ready, goes to sleep, and then I am free to be the man I want to be, right?
Right. That's how it goes. That's how it starts.
That's when I start living, right?
Yeah.
Right around 10 o'clock, I
Just
think.
find yourself out just driving around.
Some people
on a
call
warm
it
summer
cruising.
night.
I call it looking for a friend,
Yeah,
right?
I rarely
15.
go out after 10 or 11 these days. It's just not something I do anymore. I feel like such an old man.
No, I think
But
it's
I'll be watching shows until 1 in the morning. but-
Well, you don't want to get out there until you get out there on a warm summer night at 10 p.m. You go, wow, this is invigorating.
actually
This
quite
is
nice.
breathing life into me, right? So,
Also got the Eagle
Whereas the new
Lux.
life happens when you're a father or a parent, actually. You're either a night owl or you go to bed when the kid goes to bed and you become an extreme early riser.
no, man, I'm a night
I
owl.
became a night owl.
A night owl is the one that makes sense to me. I
Yeah.
understand that.
A night owl. It's the best time to hunt too, right? At
Yeah,
night, right?
exactly.
You never know.
You hunting things?
Whatever gets in my way.
Okay.
Whatever gets in my way.
Oh.
So me and Dane link up, right? Go and see Thor: Love and Thunder, right? So this
Yeah.
movie I've been looking forward
So
to.
did you go to Two Rivers again? Or?
not Two Rivers? It's called the Eagle
Eagle
Lux,
yeah, but
right?
did you over there by Two Rivers?
across the
Yeah.
street from Two Rivers. It's a deluxe. You've been there. It's
Yeah.
a deluxe.
That's what I'm
movie
thinking. I'm
theater.
going to take the family this weekend.
Well,
Surprise
because
them.
why do I like it over there? Because there's an ice cream parlor right there,
Yeah.
right? There's a great place to go get some
Still.
pizza, right?
Yeah.
There's a great place to go get, but there's a Boys to Juice Co. there, right? Want to
Yeah.
get myself a $9 juice? I can do that,
That
right?
pizza place there, Red Bench,
You
is
know,
delicious.
Red Bench is amazing. So it's good vibes over there and plenty of parking. I'm
Yeah.
weird about parking lots. That place has a ton of parking.
Plus one building that hasn't even finished being renovated or whatever, and their parking lot is always empty.
Yeah. So I'm all about that empty parking. And the thing is, it's an Eagle, right? It's a little bit of a higher
Well, it's also just down the street from your house.
class.
Yeah,
of,
I think
you know,
that's the real
of
reason
really
he's stoked
people.
about it.
Closest.
Anthony
closest
is
theater,
so
yeah.
bent up on anywhere he has to go slightly out of his way, unless it's for a spirited
Yeah.
drive, he's not interested.
Well, it's not
Called
always
out.
the case, right? But if you say, hey, do you want to come out to Emmett for the Cherry Festival? I'm going to say no every
right.
single time.
Every time.
Every time.
No amount of cherries is worth this.
So we went there. The movie overall, we've been kind of giving things a hot dog rating in terms of how many hot dogs I would enjoy during the movie.
The Glazier scale is out of what again?
So out of 10,
'Kay.
right? I'm going to give it a solid 8.5 glizzies.
Wow.
Wow, strong.
So
Very excited.
So
for it.
where other people are going to say, Anthony, the reviews, the blah, blah, blah,
they let that color it for him before they actually saw it.
Phase 4, nothing super great so far. I mean, Spider-Man,
Phase
I
4
guess.
has been a mess.
But Spider-Man, I like the Multiverse of Madness, but
theory.
Yeah.
the whole Thor thing I been looking forward to because
Right.
this is kind of one of the last big
He goes
hitters,
with
right?
the Guardians of the Galaxy and on adventures.
He does, right? And anyway, so this movie, obviously, it's goofy.
And
It's really
it's a Taika movie.
It's really
Yeah.
funny.
Hence goofy.
It's kind of more of a comedy than it is an action movie. But I like that it's colorful. I like that it's fun. I really wish that Jeff Goldblum was still in this movie because I just love Jeff Goldblum.
That was
as-
one of
in
the
Ragnarok.
very missed things about Ragnarok
But
compared to this.
Dude, I thought it was a ton of fun, right? I think
It
it's
was
exactly what you kind of you sign up for. It's going to be 2 hours of fun. They did it in the best way they probably could with Jane Foster coming back, right, and making that work for how that's going to work.
Yeah.
And Christian Bale killed it, right?
Holy crap, he was the best thing in the whole movie.
Yeah, he was
no
good, man.
question. He was an awesome villain that I would have loved to have seen in any number of movies. Like, he was good.
Yeah.
Really good.
And there's the screaming goats, and you'll find out what that's all about. But I mean, honestly, some people were annoyed by it. Like, okay, like this is ridiculous. There's right when it catches you off guard, and you go, "Oh my god, the damn goat!" And
There's one joke in the movie that I love more than any other, and I won't spoil it for anybody, but it's a play on Trip to the Moon.
Yeah.
It's a great
So
reference.
Augie, when he saw on the preview that he had his
Journey
goats,
to the Moon. I can never remember the
he
title
was
right.
so excited.
Yeah.
Because Thor famously has his goats in his chariot,
Yeah.
and one of the things he can do with those goats is he can kill them every night and eat them. So he always has food.
Yeah.
So wherever he is, he can kill his goats, but he has to get all the bones back. If he gets all the bones back, then they come back to life. And so in the old mythology stories, that was how he had sustenance, was he could feed himself by killing both his
Unlimited
goats
supply of
and roast
goats.
them and eat them. But then as long as he had all their bones, he could put them back. And famously, someone stole one of the bones.
I was
and
to
so he
say,
was
that just sounds like a setup
really
for a
pissed,
plot. So.
and he had to go fight and kill a giant so he could get one bone back to make his goat come back to life because he really loved his goats.
So you give it 8 out of 10
8.5.
glizzies.
I'm getting
8.5. Wow. Okay. So I'm giving it 7. But it's a
That's
strong
pretty-
7. You remember,
pretty
I'm very
low,
critical of these
Dane.
things. Multiverse of Madness, the Doctor Strange one, I'm only giving that like a 6.5 or a 6 at best. Like I'm not going very high on that one. No Way Home,
I'd give that like
definitely
a-
higher than
no.
both these to me. But
See, No
I
Way
would say-
Home.
I never even watched
No
that
way,
one
dude.
yet.
No Way Home. I'm putting that like literally exactly the same with Thor.
Really?
I'm not giving it any more than Thor is.
So I thought this was a really fun
because there's no,
Thor
it doesn't,
movie.
it doesn't deserve.
But
more.
I think a lot of people are responding to it not negatively, but just not as excitedly as maybe they would have otherwise.
Dude,
because Ragnarok
they-
has
but
already
they don't
like
get-
spoiled the surprise.
They don't. Some of them don't get that Taika sense of humor though. Like
Right,
I
yeah.
live for that. I like. It's
No,
my
No, I
favorite.
love the Taika sense of humor. No question.
But some people don't get it, and they go,
Yeah.
okay, it's just you know.
Speaking
They
of,
think
if you,
it's like some of the childish
have you
humor.
guys watched any of Wellington Paranormal?
Oh, I haven't watched that one. That's one of the few.
Well, we can
his
cover
I
that
have.
later.
You-
but
that's
yeah,
a
I know.
that's a Taika. You should
Yeah.
need to watch that too. So
Anyway, so you're giving it a 7.
I'll give you a 7, but remember, my rating is pretty strict. So 7 for me is like that's pretty high praise.
Okay.
Everywhere All at Once gets a 10 from me, but that's
Yeah, okay.
separate. But Top Gun Maverick, I would still actually rate higher than this in terms of overall quality movie viewing experience. I would give it a higher rating than this.
I would give Top Gun a high rating, but just because of.
But like, it was the best, I will say, normie movie I've seen in such a long time. It was just so good at doing what it was supposed to do. Huge praise. But
Anyway.
for Love and Thunder, definitely enjoyed it. Had a good
Yeah.
time. Don't regret it. And I would sooner watch that than Multiverse of Madness again.
No, I'll rewatch Thor: Love and Thunder again, probably really.
And I
soon.
love
I'll-
Sam
I'll go-
Raimi.
I'll
Don't
go
get
back
me
to-
wrong, but
well,
it's just
Ragnarok's one of my kids'
yeah,
favorites.
no, Ragnarok
Yeah.
is awesome.
No,
That and Guardians of
the-
the Galaxy 2 are
But
my
a
kids'
big-
2 favorite movies that are always playing on at my house.
Yeah, but a big reason Ragnarok was so successful is because Thor: The Dark World sucked so bad.
That was pretty bad. Nobody even remembers
Now good.
it.
No, people just like deliberately just forget the first 2 Thor movies because once Ragnarok hit, it's like, oh, that's all I want. I don't want the other stuff. So if you like Ragnarok, you'll probably like Love and Thunder. I think it's a safe.
No, there's
You
some
know,
things that pop up in.
You
this
may not
new-
like it as much, but you'll be pretty close. I think.
Yeah, love it when the stuff. There's like certain like things that pop up in Love
Yeah.
and Thunder, like that. Just dude, you'll
There's some
you'll laugh.
amazing
You'll laugh.
like little
So
jokes. and
anyway,
references in there.
so continuing
But yeah.
from there, what do we have here? Somebody's typing
Wow,
out something.
somebody's just spelling
Holy smokes, that is
Whoa.
not good, right? Yikes. We're going to go ahead and look past that. And moving on, Saturday,
Cool.
I don't even remember what the heck I did Saturday. I think it was a pretty low-key day. I think I watched Lucy for most of the day. Been filming a lot more family videos and just trying to, I don't know, enjoy it because, dude, she's crawling, right? But she's doing like a what I would consider to be like some type of like zombie crawl, right?
Yeah.
Where she has her leg kind of tucked in and she like reaches a foot forward and then crawls with her hands and uses like her actual shin to push her along.
Yeah.
But it's like getting to be freakishly fast.
Oh, no.
And almost like the scary fast
Oh
of
yeah,
crawling,
yeah. So
right?
now we're getting to the the horror movie level
Well,
at best.
and I set her down, and I'll like be like, okay, I'm gonna set you right here while I go fill up my cup of water, right? And as I fill up my cup of water, I look down and like there she is, and I'm like, it's always freaks me out. I'm always jumping, and other than that though, yeah, it's been awesome, man. They don't tell you that, they just get more fun. They tire you out more. Your back will definitely hurt more, but the kids. Like she's 9 months here in like 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
She'll be 9 months old, and it just gets, like I said, more and more fun. And yeah, I don't know. I'm entertained. Me with my short attention span, I'm very much entertained by watching how much she's been progressing and how all the stuff that she's been learning and stuff. And so I just need to get her more. I feel like I need to get her more stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Because she's very content and happy with the few toys that she has in the living room. And I'm thinking to myself, well,
she's got an imagination.
I'm like, I know, but I'm like, I should probably get her some like more cool stuff, right?
Well, you can
Katie's like her birthday's coming up in like 3 months, right? She's gonna get everything she's ever gonna want, right? Yeah. And more stuff than you're gonna want to keep in the house. And I'm like, I know.
That is the weirdest thing. Like we go through and we have to purge toys.
Yeah.
And sometimes my mother-in-law does it. And sometimes like she'll purge a toy or multiple toys, and Carly and I'll actually go root through the trash to pull them out. We're like, that was actually pretty expensive, and I don't really want to get rid of that yet.
Yeah,
they still play with that. But what I do tell my kids as they get older is to donate or sell your toys, and then we'll go buy something new, something better. But it's gonna creep up on you quick. Have you started buying little Hot Wheel cars? Right?
No.
No.
If I'm gonna get her anything, I need to get something that's not gonna break up. She's putting everything, like she literally grabs everything and puts it in her mouth.
Yeah. But you can buy the little plastic toy kids cars and things like that are suitable for that. At least you can start doing stuff with her and getting her to play with them.
Or a Chewy toy car.
But
show 'em.
Well, and then also too, I really want to clean the carpets at my house and do like a full carpet clean, because she'll just go up to anything, dude. And like there could be like an old Cheerio, like a corner of a Cheerio on the ground. She'll crawl into the corner with all the dog hair there or whatever it might be, and just pick it up. And she's just like, I'm like running and like, no,
slap it out of her hand.
Put that in your mouth. No. So I want to go through and clean the carpet. So I'm thinking that's something I want to do soon. Go rent one of those carpet cleaners from Home Depot. I've been talking about this. Yeah. I need to pull everything out. I'm going to shop vac the corners going along the...
Get your for real and your shop vac. Really do some
Well,
work.
I know. So I'm going to for real and shop vac pretty much around the corners where the baseboards are, right? Clean that up. O&R the baseboards while I'm at it, because I'm probably going to create some dust, right? And then after I do that...
steamer action.
I really do need to just give it a thorough, deep clean, because... you think your daughter's on the carpets that haven't been cleaned in 2 years, just crawling around.
No, it's weird.
Like,
right?
And you have dogs that poop in the yard, probably step in it, walk in the house.
That's animals, man.
It's just animals, right? So
you don't see it, but there's probably
it's helping her
some
immune system, right? It's building her up, right?
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I'll have her drinking some hose water, right?
Oh.
And so, but no, it's been awesome. And then me and Katie on Saturday, part of my wishes come true, where we organized some of the garage in all of our tubs, right? So you guys remember my garage tour, right? All those tubs. All those tubs were kind of like, miscellaneous crap.
Hodgepodge, yeah.
So we pulled everything out one tub by one tub and reorganized
that's a good feeling.
Everything.
Pulling the trash can in.
Yep.
Flipping the lid.
Yep.
Going through and going, do we need this? No.
Yep. Pull the trash can right onto the driveway, and I'm like, let's just make it easy for us. And we started chucking things.
Mini
and
dumpster.
Found things that we lost. And
this can go in the house.
And she opens up. She's like, I have one of my memories boxes that's in the garage. It's got my yearbooks. It's got my old lacrosse jerseys. Things like that.
I have one box. Carly has, or one tub of my stuff, and Carly has one tub of her stuff.
And she's like, do you need this
Just
down
one
here?
tub,
She's
you
like, could this go up into the attic with Grant Hawtree's family?
42 years old, Dane. So.
Yeah. And I felt like probably could give them some,
that'd be
some
nice.
new material
Something
to look
through,
at,
maybe
right?
read.
So I might be switching that up and going up there and switching things out, just so dang hot, right?
Yeah.
Going up there. So,
how's Grant's family up there?
No idea. It's getting really hot, and but I need to stain that barn door. I'm literally gonna chuck it, dude. I'm never. If my wife's listening to this, I'm never going to commit to taking an unfinished item into the garage for short or long term storage. It just won't happen. That barn door has been there for a year.
Yeah.
What's it for? It's for our bathroom. right? But we have to stain it,
pooping
right?
without a
So
barn door?
the thing is we have to stain it, and then after it's stained, then we have to call the people to actually come and do the installation of it, right?
You can't just install it yourself?
Why-
do you have sawhorses?
I have no. You know what I have though? I borrowed one of our hood stands. I'm just gonna throw it on the hood stand.
Stain it.
Yeah.
Just go grab a can of black
No.
stain and
Yeah.
She's picky about the stain color.
have her go get it then.
Yeah, but then she gets it and she says, do a test spot on like a random piece of wood, pine. And I do it, and she goes, oh, I hate that.
No.
And I've done that 5 times.
Yeah, I can see where you're stuck.
So I'm stuck right now in this weird situation where I need her to go find a stain that she just absolutely loves. I stain that thing, but I just hate it. I want that. You know. I mean, imagine you having your garage that's perfect that you love being in and spending time in, and somebody says,
mine is mess right now.
Here's an 8-foot barn door.
Yeah.
And they go figure out what you do with it.
Yeah.
It's very. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Anyway, so Sunday.
But the tubs, though, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's something.
Tubs is nice.
G. Davis wants to know how many Honda instrument clusters you found in the tubs.
Oh, those are stored somewhere else. Those are stored in a secret safe, right?
Special tubs.
But after he did that, then I think Saturday, I can't remember what the heck I did, but Sunday, I had most of the day to myself. Katie took Lucy out to a pool with her friends, and so on Sunday, what did I do? I ended up actually doing some stuff with the CRZ, right? Took it down, filled it up, threw in some Techron complete fuel system cleaner, right?
I need to do that to the Elantra.
My go-to. Well, hey, I know a guy that has some bottles of it, right?
Great.
You know, be happy to give you one.
Well, as a hybrid, the engine spends a lot of time just sitting too. So you know,
I've got a high mileage engine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really do need to go through
I actually
and
got
do
one
some fuel
for I got
system
one
cleaning.
for high mileage as well for you
perfect.
there, Levi.
How many miles are on the old CRZ these days?
CRZ is 124.
Oh, okay.
And so it's like not that bad.
Not bad.
But threw that in, right? Filled it up. Cost to fill it up was I want to say it was $41.
Levi's got a story about cost to fill up.
40, but it was only, I think it was like only 41 bucks if I remember right. It was like 8 gallons, 8 point something gallons.
Okay.
I think I had about a gallon in there. I think it's only a 10-gallon tank in
It
the
might
CRZ.
only be a 10-gallon tank.
So it's still super cheap to fill up, but I'm good to go on gas for probably another 2.5, 3 weeks on that car, realistically.
No, you've really enjoyed having that.
You got it
as
at
a
the right
convenient
time.
cruiser
Which brings
without
me,
even knowing you were going to need it so much.
Which brings me to my next point, because then I went to go change oil on it, right? And threw in some Haviland OW20, right? So it's their new synthetic Pro RS, right? It's actually 25% of that oil is actually derived from natural plants. It's a plant-based oil, right?
Wow.
So you can pick that up at your local Walmart. You can,
Nice.
Why
Is there
am
an
I
offer
why,
code or
why-
anything
feels
we can
like an
use?
ad.
why am I
don't know.
pushing
an
Haviland
offer
oil
code we can use?
for no reason? But while I was changing the oil, I was talking to myself. There may have been a camera on at that point, but
Okay.
I don't know where it was. But I am right now in a weird situation with that car where I am
Falling in love with it?
considering, with gas prices as high as they are. If you guys remember, when I bought that car, my goal was to fix it up and then sell it, right? Long term. That's what my plan was. I am 7 months into the ownership of this car, right? I thought it would be sold by summer.
You
I
kind of want to keep it.
So
Little part
I
of you is just
like driving. I drive it every day. You guys know I
Yeah,
drive it
you
every day.
do.
Yeah.
But would I
rare
not
that you
get the
don't.
most money, right, selling it now while gas prices are high and while hybrids are in high demand versus waiting?
You would get the
Although-
most money right now.
You would certainly.
So
But
I guess that's what I'm wondering, right?
a counter, I would say to that, just from a practical consideration, is most people looking for hybrids, just because of the gas mileage and everything, are also people who generally have families, more stuff to carry. They're looking more for like larger hybrids. Your hybrid is unique in that it's a 2-door, it's a small hatchback. It's awesome for people who are like us, but for the average person shopping for a hybrid, it's not quite the form factor that a lot of people shopping for hybrids are looking for.
Okay, well, this brings up
You're-
the next.
you're
this
looking
brings
You
for
up-
also need a set
this
of
brings
wheels.
up this brings up the next question, right?
Yeah.
I've been considering, right, throwing wheels on the car
Right.
and throwing tires and throwing coilovers, right?
look who
Right.
just wrote us.
Because I have an unfinished project, right?
Yeah.
My
Car's not
my
done.
plan was to finish it and then consider selling it, right?
Right.
Is it worth putting wheels and tires and coilovers and doing all that on it just with an end goal to sell it? It'll look awesome. It'll create some inspirational, photos for people down the road that want to know what things will look like, and it would complete me. But would the people buying that car even care?
people buying the car probably wouldn't care necessarily.
It depends on the person buying the car.
If the person buying the car is like a fan or
I
something,
know,
then
but it is it benefiting me in any way? Spending more money to essentially make less.
No.
yeah, the way I would look at
I'm
it
in a-
is
I'm in a
you're not going to
pickle.
get a return on investment if you look at it as a purely transactional thing. If you look at it from a will this make me happier thing, that's
make
on
it
you.
back in
That's your
content.
choice.
But then how long am I going to have the car in that finished state for before it's like, okay, gas prices have gone down, car's back to being worth X amount of dollars? Because I think realistically right now, from what I've been seeing online, the car's worth over 10,000, right? I mean, probably a high of 12, low of 10 right
Right,
now,
yeah.
considering the shape and mileage. I'm seeing rebuilt title ones go for like 8 or 9 still. So I'm assuming mine's clean title. It's really nice. All VINs matching. It should, and it's got the Mugen kit on it. It's pretty cool.
If it's
It
in
should
a
fetch more than that.
consolation, I would say with that car, they're not making any more of them. It's kind of a unique car that was underappreciated in its time, and now people are coming around to it a little bit. I don't think you're going to see a reduction in what people are willing to pay for it anytime soon.
I don't think so, but
It's one of those ones that I think is going to hold its value and continue to increase. If not at least enough to justify.
I've had the car longer than I told my wife I was going to have it. Not that she's pressuring me. She's been really cool.
She's
about the
not
whole thing.
pressuring you. Okay.
But I don't know what the heck I want to do. It's just I want to see it finished, but I also
Go Nick saying, imagine if Da Vinci hadn't finished the Mona Lisa.
I
Yeah,
know.
there you
Well,
go, right?
but that's
Yeah.
you're comparing me to an artist of much greater stature.
You got to pow over.
So listen,
you just got to.
listen, Kona
That
Wheels.
Mona Lisa,
We
you
make
know.
something happen, right? With everything being back ordered, right? So what will happen is Scott will say, "We can figure out a wheel situation." He's like, "So next May, or we should have." And I go, "May." Yeah, I'm like, I'll have the car for like 2 years at that point. So I don't know, man. I just need to figure out what my plan is, and so I kind of talked, a little bit, changed the oil. I kind of want to see what people think I should do.
See, and that's
Because I can go either way, man.
But we're
I can
also
go
in a
either
weird.
way.
But we're also in a very
It's
weird.
a very niche interest vehicle.
We're in a weird time.
Yeah.
Like that's what I was like. I just did the new struts on the Elantra. I have to do everything I can to keep that car in fun shape enough
Yeah.
to keep driving it, because I'm gonna have to keep driving that car
Yeah.
for at least another couple of years.
Yeah.
Same with the Camry. I need to keep that car in its best ability. One, because new car prices are stupid.
Yeah.
So if I'm to, let's say, in my normal arc of things, pay off the Camry, go to buy a new car, and sell the Elantra, the way the timing's going to work, I have to make sure everything's at its top dollar, peak evaluation. But I also need to make sure I can get a newer car at a lower price. Because
That
right
was
now,
the part I was going to point
that's
out
the
was
hard part.
everything is inflated. We're in a period
Yeah.
of, a good amount
So
of inflation.
it's great for you to sell the car now, right? But
But the prices are coming down in used cars.
But is it
a little
also worth not just enjoying that car right now for the fact that it is saving you a ton of money?
No,
every
it
day?
literally costs me nothing to own.
I would
right?
keep that if I were him,
it's paid
for the foreseeable
The
future.
insurance is cheap on it. I think I'm paying like $30 a month or something.
Compared
like
to
that.
having most cars, this one really isn't costing you that much
Yeah.
to
No,
keep around.
This one at this
it's
time,
it's a net benefit
so
compared
I put
to
$20
other
in the
vehicles.
Elantra this morning,
Yeah.
and I was at the stinker station, and I put $20 in, and I got under 4 gallons of gas,
Yeah.
and I said,
How's the
"You
burb?
gotta be kidding me!" Oh, I put $20 in that, and it
Disappeared.
started it
The
up.
needle doesn't.
Fired it up, and I was like, "Okay, thanks. It was delicious."
So the
cool.
Series
It's gone
E,
now.
I can get in sport mode, driving around not a nice person. I'm getting like 34 miles a gallon, right? In the normal mode, I'm doing about 36 to 38, right?
Yeah, hypermile
And then and if I hypermile it on the eco mode, right,
Rarely
which
using your brakes.
literally has like no power at all whatsoever, right, and uses like almost all battery, you can get anywhere from like 40 to like 44.
You
right?
haven't experienced no power until you've driven
and
a van.
and so it gets, like I say, it's great gas mileage. I just don't know what the heck to do with it, man. Like I really am stuck right now. Like I don't know what to do, because if I buy $800 coilovers, right, for the plan for that car, then I am committing to going down that path. If I don't do that, then I'm polishing it. I'm doing a
What are you gonna do
crazy
with the
interior detail. the hood also more money,
Yeah, you
right?
gotta paint that.
$350 if I paint it, right?
Yeah.
If I paint it, I can paint it and then sell it, or if I paint it, or if I don't paint it and then sell it and just say, hey, underneath the wrap is blue, it's just the clear coat's kind of bad.
Well,
Take
and it's
what you
interesting because G. Davis here points out, going into a recession, cash will be king. You should sell it. I have a slightly different perspective on that, thinking that that car is going to continue to be worth a certain amount. And if you sell for cash now during an inflationary period, that amount of cash you got, no matter how top dollar it may be right now, may not be worth as much in the future. So unless you're counting on it for a very specific, necessary reason, I would hold on to it.
I'd be selling high, potentially buying high, or
Yeah.
selling high, waiting and then waiting and buying
Because
low.
I think
Hoping
it's
that you
just going
don't
to
spend that.
continue for the
That's the other
next
thing,
little
though.
while. Yeah.
That's something that you don't understand.
Well, if
Yeah.
you sit on cash, it becomes worth less over
no,
time.
no.
Yes.
No, Dane, you don't understand.
That's what inflation does.
You don't understand the difference because you are a solo human.
Now
Cash
that's fair.
in a household
Now that's different,
is
but that's
totally,
not what I'm talking about.
So
here.
G can say, yeah, having cash could be nice. I agree. It'd be great to have cash during a recession. If I had $10,000, but you know what happens? Family stuff, kids stuff.
Yeah. And
All
that's-
those things. That's where
and that's
If
fine.
It's
Katie
a little
knows
too liquid.
If
But
Katie
my
knows you
point
have
is-
that cash just sitting, she's going to find things to do with it.
Yes.
Or spend it.
But cash,
So that's a different. That's
cash
not
as it
an option.
sits,
Put it in
does
a
not.
Roth account. I'm like, if it's
Cash,
untouchable, I can't touch
cash
it.
as an
Yeah.
asset does not appreciate.
No,
while
you're right. I'm just
sitting.
saying, though,
So
that-
that's my point.
Yeah,
Is I'm
and
not
you're
wrong.
No,
it's just a different
no,
perspective.
you're wrong in the perspective that his family
Well, it's not a
isn't
wrong
different.
perspective. It's a
I'm
different
just saying,
perspective.
It's not going to help him if he has the
No,
cash and sits
in his
on it.
case, for his needs, it could make sense. But
Anyway,
in a vacuum.
So in a vacuum, I'm trying to figure out what to do with that, and it's kind of like I really am up in the air, and I don't know what to do. Like if somebody came at me and said, "Hey, dude, I'll give you this much
still
for
got
it,"
an Evo 9
and,
just sitting
they,
around.
they say, "Hey, I'll give you this much for it," I might just say, "Yeah, sure." Like
Yeah.
let's just do it. But I'm also thinking, dang. I didn't finish what I wanted to finish,
Yeah.
and I regret that. I'm already happy with it. I do like that car a lot. It looks so much cooler than
But you
what it
still
did.
have your red Civic.
But I still have the red Civic.
Still have
I
the
all
truck.
that. So
I mean, you can keep working on those.
I know.
You got projects that need to be
I
done
always
on the truck.
I have too many projects. So it's too many projects in too little time.
Yeah.
So
the truck
anyway,
was free,
after
so-
Truck needs taillight wire or trailer
Yeah.
wiring.
it
that's a
needs a
project.
trailer wire, and I also need to
You can get that set
fix
up for
my
for
headlights.
towing.
So after that, Jason came over, and I needed help because I wanted to readjust the hood on my Evo for the 5th time.
Why?
I can't get the gaps right on that stupid
Why do you
hood.
keep taking the hood off?
I didn't
He
take the
keeps
hood. I didn't
messing
take
with
the
it.
hood
It's getting
off.
worse,
I
not
keep-
better.
I
I
keep
think
trying
so.
to adjust it because I want to get the body gaps correct, right? But I'm not a professional at it.
Right.
But I'm trying to learn, right?
okay.
I'm learning on the car I probably shouldn't learn on, right?
Right.
And
You're
so
doing this on your CRZ.
So Jason is basically
on the Ram.
So
Should be doing this on the Evo.
right?
well, so like the gaps have never been like great from the beginning since I got the car.
No,
I've been just been
because
trying
it's
to
an
improve
Evo.
it.
It's a
Yeah, because
Lancer.
it's a Mitsubishi. But I just want to get my left and right hood gaps between the fenders.
the easiest way to do
as good
this?
as I can get it.
The easiest way to do this.
That's a fair point, G.
Bondo. Grinder and a Bondo.
No, that is
you
not
create
that is
new
not,
lines.
that's not the
you
answer.
Take a grinder and you cut
Nope.
new lines in. The,
No.
how they do it at Kenny's Rod Shop. You should take it down there. Have
So-
them get it for you.
Yeah, but they
I
finish.
want to
it
make
when
sure.
they're
I
done.
want to line
Let us
everything
spend that
up.
10 grand that you just sold the CRZ with. Get that Evo looking mint. Proper body lines.
So yeah, going back and forth, we've been trying to get this. We thought we got it perfect.
panel gaps,
We
that's
thought we got it perfect.
Yeah.
And then like I looked at it the other day and I go, oh, the driver's side is still a little bit wider than the passenger side. I'm like, that's probably going to bother me. So I have to hit him up again and say, hey, dude, next time you're over, let's try this again.
Yeah.
Jason is very patient with my meticulousness about certain things, right? He's very understanding.
Yeah.
He knows I'm crazy. He's nice about it.
That's
doesn't
why
make
you
me
call
feel-
him to do that and you don't call me.
Yeah, he doesn't make me feel bad about
Yeah.
it or anything like that. But what I ended up buying, though, and you guys will appreciate this, everybody that's listening to this, so listen very closely. I bought think of shrink wrap, right? But it's thicker than shrink wrap.
Right.
It's not as thick as PPF, right?
Yeah.
Slightly thinner than PPF, but much thicker than shrink wrap.
Right.
It's got its own self-adhesive on it, right? And it comes in a giant roll. I want to say it's like 3 feet high, right? And it's like 100 feet worth or
Yeah.
300 feet worth, or whatever it is of this stuff. It's the best thing ever from a detailer's OCD like perspective.
Right.
You can take this self-adhesive shrink wrap, yank on it, pull off a giant sheet, take a razor, cut some off, right? And you can place that onto a car, right? Like you would lay over a towel. You can place that stuff onto a car. It sticks perfectly. It still sticks to coated surfaces. So I put on the Evo, it's coated. Yeah. Stuck it onto that,
Kind of like
right?
putting a blanket, but safer.
And you can lean on it. You can touch it. You can drop a bolt on it. It won't break through the plastic. It's basically like a Body Shop style wrap to protect adjacent panels when you're working on something. And I want to say, dude, I paid like $40 for this roll. And it's massive. I mean, it's this big roll. So we got to use that for the first time. We laid it over the fenders when we were doing the job. It was just amazing. Like the fact that we can go up to it, yank it off, put a towel in a certain section, do what we needed to do, move the towel, and then put it back on, and it make sure it adheres to the thing and keep working.
Awesome.
So if you're interested, if you're a guy that likes to wrench on your own stuff, but your paint's also in good shape, I can try to find a link to where I got this stuff on Amazon. It's good. So did that for a little while. Like I said, didn't get it perfect. I looked at it last night. I'm still upset about it. So we will.
To the future buyer
I'm
of
saying,
that car, I'm going to say.
Bondo and a grinder. It's the only way you're going to get it straight.
You're going to do a lot more harm than good doing that. But to the future buyer of that Evo, because there will be one day, I'm sure of it, someday, they probably won't care about that as long as it's original.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it is.
Assuming it's original, that car will be worth a pretty penny just
well,
in the state
most of it's
in.
original. That's the thing. The hood's not original because the hood hit a mailbox in 2009.
Okay, but that's close enough.
But it's an
to when the
OEM
car was
hood.
new that it's an OEM hood. It's not some cheap aftermarket.
I know, but it's a Mitsubishi OEM hood, so every Mitsubishi fits differently. I tell you, at that factory, they probably said, put that hood on that car. Yeah, that one doesn't look right. Throw that other one on. Okay, that looks good.
Let's just say Mitsubishi hasn't had the track record, at least in North America, of making the best decisions. So,
anyway, moving on.
Anyway, we've been going for an hour and a half.
I know. Let me wrap this up. So after I did that, though, pretty much after we did that, me and him, I did a Dr. Color Chip spot on his vet. He opened up his car door and it hit a metal grate, right? Oh. At first, I'm like, what? You hit a metal grate with the Z06 door? He gets down on his hands and knees and he shows me like a little, like very minuscule paint chip. And he's like, yeah, dude. He's like, can you fix that? And I said, of course I can fix that. But like, I'm telling you, Jason, I'm freaking crazy. You know I'm a psychopath. I'm telling you, that's like best case scenario. I'm like, I wouldn't even be bothered by that. It's on the lowest part of the door. You can't ever see it. So he brought his Dr. Color Chip over, and so I fixed that for him. And then we hung out, drank some more beers, and after that took some photos of his car. And I think the rest of the night, that was pretty much it. Pretty chill night. I think it was pretty good. We just did some stuff with the baby, and then I watched last night. Katie's mom found an old VCR, bunch of Katie's baby tapes, right?
Oh, nice.
And we got to watch Katie as a baby, and it was just the cutest thing because I'm like, wow, seeing so much of my daughter, and her mom at that age. Strange. I also love it because it's 1992 and 1993, and I'm watching these throwbacks, and I'm like looking at everybody's style and what everybody's wearing.
A lot of glasses, a lot of mustaches, a lot of
mustaches. But then
long curly hair.
But depending on your age, right? Everybody dressed different, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was like her grandma and her mom. A lot of bling on the hands, like a lot of rings, bracelets,
tons of rings, bracelets,
big curly hair, bangs, things like that. And then her dad and her uncle and stuff like that, basically really bright neon style shirts, jean shorts that are shorter, kind of semi mullets in the back, and
dresses had like weird frilly
gold
things.
Watches, things like that. But then I liked it because then her aunt, right, which I'm like, oh, your aunt had a pretty cool style then, right? Pretty grungy, right? She had, Ford hat, baseball cap, right?
Nice.
Wearing an oversized flannel with a hood on the back.
Ooh,
and I'm
grunge.
like, that's pretty cool. Everybody had different styles, and she's like, yeah, that's kind of how it was. And so, yeah, it was fun. That was it,
cool.
man. That was my weekend.
All right. Wow. Well, what a show. We went all over the place from technical difficulties to all that stuff. By the way, if you saw, there were some not so great comments appearing there. We took care of them, but we just don't have our normal stuff in front of us, so we didn't catch them until near the end. So just a heads up for you. We'll get that fixed for later this week during Q&A Thursday over on the main Rag Company channel, where you will have to be subscribed for at least a minute before you're allowed to comment. That's how I'm going to have that set up. So you're welcome in advance. Anyway, guys, if you haven't, gals, if you haven't, please click like on this video. Help us get in front of more people. If you're not subscribed to the Rag Company Podcast YouTube channel, I would appreciate if you do so because, hey, we broke 2,000 not too long ago. We're building our way up. It's not as big as the main channel, but at the same time, not as many people are into watching a bunch of guys just talk about random stuff all day, and that's okay. But we want to keep building it anyway. So thank you to those of you who continue to watch. All right, so with that said, anything left to say, guys, before we go get El Faro lunch? Okay, we're going to go do that. So, see you in a while. We'll see you on Q&A Thursday.
Have fun.
Bye-bye.
See ya.